And these men, I've never known a man who is smart enough to make a whole bunch of money, but too dumb to know when a woman is using him for money. A man knows when he's being used, and he's okay with being used. Why? Because he's using you too. He's getting exactly what he wants, baby, your body. And your body is way more valuable than his paper, but you're the one treating it like it's a fair trade. And then you'll call him a trick, but who's the trick? When he gets to go out tomorrow and get some new money while you still stuck with that same old ran through.
Can you really argue with that? Can you really argue with that? Right? This is the thing that we as men understand. Right? When you are your value, we've grown up to think that your body is of the utmost. Right? And this is part of programming. This is part of it, right? Your body, that intimacy, that it's a sacred thing. It's a sacrosanct thing. It's a thing that you have to earn. You've got to string together the right combination of words. You have to string together the right combination of years to be that guy, right? For the most part, again, we're talking about propaganda. We're not talking about what's reality. But you have to be worthy. You're trying to lift Mjolnir, and Mjolnir's not budging. You're not worthy. The rest of the Avengers getting up together and they're trying. Cap is worthy, but he's decent enough to say I'm not going to lift it, right? He knows he can hit. He knows he can hit, but he leaves it. He's a decent man. But the rest of us, we're struggling. So here you change the rules, and now you just say, oh, you just got to make some money, and that gives me access. When you make enough money and you got your ducks in a row, right? You've got your debt taken care of. You've got your investments going, right? You've got the future secured. You're an autopilot. You've got the cars. You got the business. Money it loses that same sort of hold, that intrinsic hold it has on the lower class sort of society, the middle class, even the upper middle class. When you have that disposable income, now that money, long ago, you've learned this, right? And this is free game. Money is used to solve problems. That's it. You lord it, you hold it, you sit there and you hold it so it doesn't go out there. I don't want to lose it. No. That's not its function. You're strangling it, right? Inflation is killing it, right? We can get into the actual economics of this, but your money is there to solve problems. What's one of the problems? I need to secure a future. I need to be able to retire and have income commensurate with what I'm making. Okay, you send your money out to solve that problem. Okay, I need more disposable income today. Send your money out to solve that problem. When you make the mistake, what people make the mistake of thinking is that you and access to your body, men are saying that that's a problem because that's something I want and I don't have. It's a problem, not in a don't take it. Don't take the thinking that somehow women are a problem. No, my problem is my bed is cold. I don't have you. And listen, this is us being real, right? We're having a real conversation here, right? Let's just accept that. Men are looking and saying, my problem is my bed is cold and I don't have anyone in my life. This money is going to help me solve that problem. I don't want to go straight out and pay for it, but I want to pay for the outcome. If you make yourself available to that and just saying, you have to spend this amount in order to get access to this, you're saying that you will willingly give me access to your body, the thing that I'm desirous of, if I spend this amount of money. Okay. Long ago, you've men or people that have made money, and people that understand the actual what money's supposed to do, understand it's to solve a problem. I'm going to deploy it to solve the current problem. The problem is I'm trying to convince you to come home with me. You're resistant to it. I apply money to the problem. I've solved the problem. That's it. It's cold. It's unfeeling. It's calculating. But if you make yourself available to that, if you make it known that all I have to do is spend X, Y, and Z in order to get A, B, C, okay, this is just going to solve my problem. My other problems could be, I don't have the gift of gab. I can't sit there. I can't riz you. I can't talk to you. I can't chat you up. I can't do any of these things. I lack the fundamentals to make that happen. But thankfully, you made it easy. You said, oh, all you got to do is pay. All you got to do is show me a good time. All you got to do is make it feel like you're willing to spend on me. Then you got me. Listen, before we continue, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss no uploads. Still trying to do 2 a day, even though our goes a little busted, but we roll with the punches. We're doing what we got to do. We'll make some little tweaks and changes and see what we can see. Just bear with me as we do that. But again, when you look at this, like from what she's saying, it's absolutely true. This is how men that, again, we're always want to talk about, we want to separate the conversations that we're having. We want to talk about men that have done the work to make themselves, to set themselves apart. I consider myself one of those men that have done the work to set themselves apart. I got the bona fides to kind of like prove it, yeah. And people that know me in real life, IRL, and say, yeah, okay, he's done those things. He continues to do those things. My biggest issue is I don't rest. But if I have to pay, if a problem arises and it says, you know what, there's a zoning issue, there's a construction issue, there's some sort of issue with one of my properties, but what am I going to do? I'm going to pay to solve it. Over time, you start understanding that you accumulate this money, you set some aside for the emergency, or hey, there's an unexpected problem that has arisen, you have to pay to solve it. There's no other thing to do. There's no other talks to be had. There's no you can't wink and nod and get these things solved. No, you have to pay. Okay, that's what the money's for. I would love to see it in an account grow, and make me feel good, increase my value, increase my self-worth. But in reality, I know this money is waiting to be deployed to solve the next problem. Once you break that psychological sort of hold and understand that's exactly what the money's for, it was never supposed to be a painting that you put up and you simply come back home and you look at and say, yeah, that's good. That's essentially how we've been trained in our communities, especially when you come from a lower income, poorer sort of background. Money was so scarce that you just, when you got a little bit of it, you wanted to hold it. You wanted to see it grow. That's the wrong sort of idea with money. That's the money is supposed to solve a problem. This problem is preventing me from getting the thing that I need, the thing that I want, whatever that is. This thing is going to open a door for me and let me take the next step in the thing that I'm looking to pursue. Cool. Dating, it works the very same way. If you're saying, I can't take you to Cheesecake Factory, yeah, we'll push back, we'll lament, we'll make fun of it. But in reality, we're just saying, cool, okay, what's the next spot? I got to take you to Maestro's? Cool. If now I look at you and say your value is commensurate with that, I'll pay. I'm sitting there having dinner with you. I'm having a good time. It's something I want to do myself. But if you're making it so easy, you're laying it out so easy for us, that's all it is. Now, you're going to have people that look at this and say, especially men that don't really have the resources, don't really have the money. It's easy to lament. It's easy to complain with that. But once you change your sort of thinking, your philosophy with money, you understand, I'm just trying to solve a problem. The bad part of this, when we continue with this track, right? When we extrapolate it further out, you understand that men start just looking at you and your body as a thing to overcome, a thing to purchase, to use, and then to set back. I rented it, I sent it back. When we continue to simply value men for their money, for their resources, for what they can bring to the table, what they can bring to forbear, then this is what you end up having. Okay, what I gotta pay. And that's how men are thinking. Okay, I'll do the dates, right? I'm stopped looking at you as something valuable, just something simply money's supposed to solve this. This is part of the conversation, the dating conversation that we don't talk about when we always say, you don't want to do 50 with men. Okay, cool. Men are going to really sit there really and lament and fight you on these things. By and large, the conversation and society will continue to shift. It shifted in a way that women find detestable now. It shifted from when you thought men were supposed to be chivalrous. That shifted because we listened to what you were saying. It took time, 5, 10, 15 years. But over time, men say, okay, I'll grant you your independence and leave you to do what you want to do. Over time, as the game is being changed again, and the dating game is being changed again, there's going to be a similar adaptation, a similar evolution. You're probably not going to like the results of it because it's going to be very akin They're simply paying for a professional. But listen, if you think I got it wrong, you think we got it wrong, because I agree with what she's saying here. Let me know down in the comments below. Naturally, if you see videos on your screen right now, take a look at those. Let me know your thoughts about those in those videos. And if you listen to sound of my voice now, you have not subscribed, I think you should. Really think you should. We're trying to build something dope. I'll see you in the next one.